Welcome to Real Talk Tarot. We're just gonna see what kind of real talk we need to hear at this time. Get down to the nitty gritty and probably hear some things we don't want to hear, but that's what we're here for. So we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, gonna get some real talk. Knight of Wands in reverse with the Temperance. Okay. And we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So we're going to start off with this Knight of Cups in reverse and see why we need some real talk when it comes to the Knight of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups. Okay. Real talk. Oh. Some of you are really looking for probably a new beginning in love. You want that to come your way. Yeah, definitely want it to come your way. The thing about that is we might have to consider that it might not. We will get into it. You know, this is real talk, but I don't want to discourage you so much so that, you know, you guys feel like there's no point. I'm just seeing for the first card, definitely this is a reading for some people that feel like love isn't coming in a certain way. And that is all you want. You just want a new beginning in love. You just want love to come your way. But, you know, it feels like whatever you do, whatever effort you make, it's not happening, right? Always kind of feel like you're either being left behind or being left to feel like either you're not worthy of love, or that the love that you think that comes towards you always ends up leaving you in a bit of a mess. Okay. What about this Knight of Wands in reverse? I can see that this is for those that probably do venture into temporary, momentary, probably impulsive types of connections. You are showing up as a Queen of Cups, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Feels like you guys, you know, you do pour your heart out, right? But it always just seems like it's not enough and things never last. What about this Temperance card? Again, feminine energy for this reading. I mean, you guys are showing me you've been patient, right? But you've been patient, or you've tried to be patient. You've been waiting. You've been trying to create the potential of, you know, love here, happily ever after, but you just can't seem to succeed. Okay, now that seems to be the situation you guys are finding yourself in. Okay, but I do want to get just a little more about why that may be. So let me get my other deck here. We'll get additional energy to check in on what the energies are for you guys. Anything else that'll help us understand maybe why it's not coming to pass for you guys. Love, right? The love that you're hoping for. Okay. Okay, so you guys chase. You chase, right? You have a fear of abandonment. You get so caught up in a connection that you're in that you become codependent. And eventually these connections just turn out to be lessons that you need to learn. But it does seem like there's a pattern here that you guys are probably falling into when it comes to love. You meet someone, right? You go out on a date, you get to know someone, and then what happens is, you know, some things seem great, but probably it never gets past a certain point. What happens is you get cut off from the connection, right? There's a separation, you get cut off, you could get silent treatment, and then what kicks in? The chasing. You know, because of your fear of being left in this connection that you've formed a pretty fast attachment to, you end up chasing. You end up calling this person, stalking their social media, trying to get with this person, that it becomes so bad that it becomes, you know, codependent. There's an addictive energy to it. No restraint, honestly. It feels like you guys go over and beyond. And the thing is, these connections usually turn out to be karmic relationships, meaning lessons you've needed to learn. You know, the intensity of what you feel in these connections is meant to bring out certain patterns that, you know, you are finding yourselves in. But what happens is instead of recognizing the pattern, we just go back to the first step again of dating a new person, then going through all of that. And when it doesn't work out, so I'm not saying that you guys have like dated so many times, but 2, 3, 4 times, I mean, I would safely say 3 times is a pattern, guys. If that just is what keeps happening and you keep finding yourself in that pattern, it's because of the way that you are navigating yourself in connections and relationships. Okay. So real talk, you guys need to learn boundaries. You need to learn to slow down. You need to learn to date, yes, but to take it a day at a time, take it slowly, you know, and if it comes to the point of getting cut off, you know, there's silent treatment, do not chase. Just say thank you for the experience. I let you go. And then you start healing from that pain. I know when I say it, it sounds like, oh, it's just that easy, but it has to be if you want to break this pattern. You have to make it so that you look at it as something that you can do. Okay? Because honestly, guys, this is just going to keep happening over and over. And it's something that, you know, you can do something about. Okay? I'm going to get... I'm going to get guidance from a specific deck here for you guys later on. But for now, let me take a look at the tarot card guidance. Yeah. You guys don't seem to know that you have worth here. You don't know, or you don't realize it, or you're not assured of it. You don't trust yourself. You don't see yourself being a 9 of Pentacles. And a 9 of Pentacles is someone that is very abundant, very worthy, very self-sufficient, you know, very admirable energy, because this is somebody that goes along their way, does their own thing, and doesn't really get affected as much as maybe other people, because they're so focused on themselves, right? They're building, they're growing, they're progressing. But you're showing me that you don't have that sense of awareness about yourself, that you are either that or can be. Okay. You should not be discouraged at all. You can change, you know, literally you can change your luck, right? You can change your destiny. You can change your fate. You know, what is it that you truly want for yourself? Allow yourself to envision yourself having that, okay? And not having to feel like you have to chase it, beg for it, you know, be desperate for it. Again, I'm a little more forward with this because we're doing real talk, right? A lot of you get very desperate to the point that it's one of those things where it's kind of hard. It feels hard to live with the actions we've taken just to prove that we're worthy of love, okay? And the thing is, you can change all of that. You can have what you want without sacrificing your dignity, okay? The thing about that is, usually a true, real connection will take time to develop. It will take time to even, you know, enter your energy. And it all does depend on where you're at, you know, how you've been healing in your life. And I feel like you need to recognize it takes time to really align with the person that is meant for you. So this pattern that you have of quickly kind of jumping into these things, and then the moment that you recognize that there's potential silent treatment, abandonment, or, you know, ghosting, you do all these things where you try to keep it as much as possible when it should be let go. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your effort. The one clear guidance I see here is it is time today. When you watch this reading, it is time to finally decide that you know what you truly want, that you're not going to divert from that, that you need to figure out what will make you happy. You need to also understand, what is this pattern? Is this coming from something in our past? Is this stemming from maybe a connection that was, you know, so devastating to us that we kind of felt like, oh, well, this is the only way I know how to do it, right? We need to understand that part too, but we really need to decide enough. Wake up. What is it that you truly want? You need to be decisive about that, because once you are, anything that comes along your way and it does not fit that, you know that you need to let that go. Don't entertain it. Don't even look at it. Okay? Understandably, if we have not done the work on ourselves and have not healed certain traumas, we tend to go back to go back to patterns. We tend to go back to what we think is safe. We tend to go back to how we do things. But I feel like you need to be more aware of where you're giving your energy, who you're giving your energy to. You need to have standards, yes, but I think you also need to have boundaries. You need to kind of put walls up here to protect your energy and yourself. And if that means kind of distancing yourself potentially from people that might take advantage of maybe your love, your generosity, your care, your time, your effort, then so be it. Okay? Queen of Swords. It is, you guys are in a Queen of Cups energy, right? You kind of need to be in a Queen of Swords where you become discerning, even detached at some points here when you need to be. Speak up for yourself, set expectations. And if people that are in your life do not want to even have that conversation, or if you want to set certain boundaries and they don't want to respect it, automatically cut them off. And the guidance is a little harsh. It is a little drastic because it's what you specifically need. If you're resonating with this, you have been too giving of your energy. You let people take advantage, and it's time to say no. Cut off, no, right? This is what a Queen of Swords does. It says, don't you dare lower your voice for anyone, right? Any potential person and connection that comes your way that seems promising, the moment that they show negative and toxic behavior, it's your prerogative to say, no, I don't want to deal with that. I'm sorry, enough. Don't even say sorry. Like, I gotta cut you loose. Bye, right? It has to be that way for you because this is your pattern, because this is the way that you do things, and you need to learn how to change it. Okay? Otherwise, you will keep getting disappointed. You will keep getting hurt. You will keep having regrets about the actions that you take in an intention to create partnership, commitment, right? You will keep being disappointed. So do you want to spend your lifetime being disappointed? Do you want to spend your lifetime always being in regret, right? I mean, in some ways you have to fight back against your own self here, because it's your patterns, it's your toxic ways that kind of allow you to keep staying in this. Once you recognize it, once you see it, and once you know that you can overcome this, it's much easier to say no to the things that will potentially disrupt your life or disturb your peace. That's why that devil is right there. Okay? Don't even give an inch to people that you can already tell do not have your best interest at heart. Do not give an inch. It will not be unfair of you. Stop considering people too much. Consider yourself more. Okay? Again, I know that you're seeking love. You want to be in a relationship. But I think you need to also align with yourself first. Appreciate yourself more. Learn to love yourself more. I know that's such a cliche, but it's true. Right? You need the number one thing you need to do is nurture yourself, love yourself, care for yourself, understand yourself. Because once you're able to do that, you'll attain peace, you'll attain understanding, you'll have growth, and then you will ideally welcome the type of person that would definitely align with the energy that you carry once you've done this work. Okay? I'm going to say that this is going to be for people that really need a little bit of a hard talking to, needing to hear some things that might hurt. It's Real Talk Tarot, but it's meant to give you a different perspective. It's meant to stop you from allowing yourself to be either manipulated or taken advantage of, or just taken for granted, right? Show up for yourself so that the right person shows up for you. That's really how that works. Okay, so I know that was a little bit harsh, but again, this is for the people that need to hear it and can hear it in this manner, right? Sometimes we need a hard talking to. Sometimes we need someone that we don't know to tell us exactly what we already know, or we might have an idea of, to help us improve, help us grow, help us be better for ourselves, okay? Yeah. So what's the guidance for you specifically? Well, definitely release your ex. And what I mean by that is, if you are still, you know, if you're still pining for an ex, release it. You have to start fresh. You have to start new. You cannot start with something from the past, okay? The time has come to clear your energy. Release that, but also release the patterns of the kinds of people that you allow yourself to engage with. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. It would better serve you to put your energy and effort toward your finances, toward your career. Build yourself, grow yourself, progress yourself. You will see how much worth you have in the things that you do, that you care about. And anybody that wants to be in your energy will feel like it's a blessing to even be allowed within your space. Okay? Now it says very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Like I said, you have to really decide, what is it that you want when it comes to love, when it comes to relationship? How do you want to be treated? What kind of person do you imagine would love you? What are their traits, right? These are all important things, because the more that you envision, the more that you visualize, the more that you invite that kind of energy in, right? And at the bottom of the deck, I see healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. If this pattern actually stems from maybe even being a child, or the influences that we've had when we were younger, right? The examples that were set as we were growing up, I feel like those are things that would benefit you to heal from, okay? Recognizing where these patterns stem from will help you understand why you seek these types of people and this type of connection, okay? So that is what I have. Before I close, let's get zodiacs, and this can help confirm if this reading is for you, okay? All right. So you've got, let's see, Aries, Capricorn, Libra, Leo. Let's get one more zodiac and a number. So you've got Scorpio, and the number 8 could be significant. I hope you take this as encouragement, and best of luck.